The Cassini spacecraft spent just over 13 years in the Saturn system, studying this massive, gaseous planet, its rings and its moons. Thanks to gravity assists from Saturn's moon Titan, the probe was able to change its orbit around the planet many times, and view the planet from various angles. In total, the probe sent back more than 450,000 images of the Saturn system. That's a lot to sift through, but we think these are some of the most spectacular images Cassini took of Saturn. This image shows a huge storm churning through the atmosphere in Saturn's northern hemisphere on February 25, 2011. The Cassini-Huygens spacecraft took 7 years to reach Saturn. This is the first color composite image of Saturn taken by the spacecraft on its approach to the ringed planet. When the image was taken, on October 21, 2002, Cassini-Huygens was 20 months and 177 million miles 285 million kilometers away from Saturn, or about twice the distance between the Sun and Earth. This natural color image was taken March 27, 2004, as the Cassini-Huygens probe neared its arrival into Saturn's orbit in July 2004. This was the last image that the spacecraft's camera was able to capture of the entire planet and its ring system. After this point, the planet and its rings appeared larger than the camera's field of view. This moody portrait of Saturn shows just how razor-thin the planet's ring system is. The width of the rings can be seen in the shadows cast on the planet in the upper half of the image. The moon Dione is a tiny sunlit orb visible near the left edge of the image. The image was taken in polarized infrared light with Cassini's wide-angle camera on December 7, 2005. Saturn is backlit by the Sun in this image by Cassini. With the added background light, Cassini was able to observe the ring system in a way that wouldn't be possible from Earth. This is not a single image but a panorama created by combining 165 images from the Cassini wide-angle camera, taken over 3 hours on September 15, 2006. The original image captured ultraviolet and infrared light, and was then adjusted to resemble natural color. Saturn's rings appear smooth and pristine from afar, but up close, it's possible to spot imperfections. Spokes are gaps or smudges in the rings that stick out radially, like spokes in a bike wheel. This image from Cassini shows a group of more than a dozen spokes in Saturn's outer B ring, the darker region in the right half of the image. The large spoke feature just above the center of the image is a grouping of spokes about 3,100 miles 5,000 kilometers long and 1,200 miles 2,000 kilometers wide. The image was taken with the spacecraft's narrow-angle camera on April 28, 2007. The contrasting colors of Saturn's cloud tops are apparent in this snapshot of the planet's southern hemisphere and part of the ring system. A swirling, dark storm can be seen circling around the South Pole. This dark and dramatic view of Saturn shows near-infrared light along the ring plane. The shadow near the equator is from the moon Tethys. A very small shadow can also be seen just north of the equator, near the curve of the planet's edge, created by the moon Mimas. The equatorial region of the planet appears brighter than the areas near the poles because of the filter used to take the image. The filter is sensitive to light that is absorbed by methane, and the cloud tops in the higher latitudes are under a thicker layer of methane than the cloud tops near the equator. The image was taken with the Cassini spacecraft's wide-angle camera on October 23, 2009. This unique view shows the night side of Saturn, but looks toward the day side of the ring system, which appears bright. The planet's atmosphere caused a slight distortion of the light from the planet's atmosphere. A few stars can be seen in the sky near the top of the image, taken on September 7, 2009. Saturn appears to be largely monochrome in this overexposed image from Cassini. The heightened contrast makes it possible to see the dim rings around the planet. The moon Pandora below the rings to the left was also brightened to enhance its visibility. The size of the ring shadow on Saturn indicates the time of year. This image was taken on June 24, 2010, as the planet moved away from the August 2009 equinox, when the rings cast a very thin shadow. Bright spokes, distortions or smudges in the ring system can be seen to the left of the planet's shadow, on the B ring. The moon Tethys is visible in the upper right of the image, and the moon Enceladus is at the lower right. Both moons are overexposed to increase their visibility. The shadow of Saturn's rings is extremely thin in this image from Cassini. The picture was taken with the spacecraft's wide-angle camera on November 28, 2009, not long after the planet's August 2009 equinox. The image was taken using a filter that's sensitive to near-infrared light. Saturn's moon Tethys is the small dot on the left of the image, below the rings. Two tiny moons, Rhea and Dione, pose with Saturn in this image from Cassini, taken on March 11, 2011. Rhea on the right and Dione are the second and fourth largest moons of Saturn, respectively, but they are dwarfed by their parent planet, which is sliced horizontally in this image by the ring system. The shadow of the moon Tethys is also visible closer to the bottom of the planet. This image shows another uncommon view of Saturn, looking up at the night side of the southern hemisphere, which casts a shadow across the full width of the ring system. The image was taken in visible light with the Cassini spacecraft's wide-angle camera on June 24, 2012. The moon Epimetheus can be seen near the top left of the image. The moon Janus is a small white dot in the bottom left of the image. The moon Tethys, near the top of this image, is dwarfed by mighty Saturn and its rings. Tethys is about 660 miles 1,062 kilometers across, significantly smaller than the width of the rings, but scientists believe the moon is many times more massive than all the material in the entire ring system combined. This image was taken August 19, 2012. Saturn's largest moon, Titan upper right, is about 3,200 miles 5,150 kilometers across, but it looks pea-sized compared to Saturn. The moon Prometheus, which is only 53 miles 86 kilometers wide, can be seen above the rings, in the upper right of the image, which was taken with Cassini's wide-angle camera on January 5, 2012. Cassini took this image of Saturn in infrared light, which can reveal structures and textures in the planet's clouds that can't be seen in visible light. In this image, the contrasting colors in the clouds appear smudged, like a watercolor painting. Here, the spacecraft looks toward the sunlit side of the planet on August 12, 2013. In this image from Cassini, the northern hemisphere of Saturn can be seen clearly, but the southern hemisphere is mostly cloaked in the shadow of the ring system. The bright moon Mimas is positioned in front of the ring's shadow. This image was taken July 13, 2014, as the Saturn system neared summer in the northern hemisphere. As the seasons change, so does the size of the shadow cast by the ring system. This view of Saturn's northern hemisphere provides a glimpse of the split between night and day on the planet, as well as a view of the hexagonal storm that has been swirling around the planet's north pole for more than 30 years. The image was taken with Cassini's wide-angle camera on November 23, 2013. While Saturn dominates most images taken by Cassini, this view of the planet's night side includes only a sliver of illumination. The image was taken September 20, 2013. This image shows another view of Saturn's night side, captured by Cassini on January 15, 2015. A planet's atmosphere can scatter light to the night side, but out in space, shadows can appear pitch black, as illustrated by Saturn's shadow cast onto the rings in this image. The wavy outline of the hexagonal storm in Saturn's northern hemisphere is visible. The great orb of Saturn appears to float in the middle of the enormous ring system in this image from Cassini taken May 21, 2016. The planet casts a short shadow on the rings, which indicates the changing seasons. When this image was taken, the planet was nearing its northern hemisphere solstice, which took place in May 2017, when the planet's shadow grew even shorter and barely touched the B ring, one of the system's inner rings. Saturn's moon Tethys seems to hang directly above the planet's north pole in this image, but it's just a trick of perspective. Tethys is actually on the far side of Saturn in this image, and the moon orbits almost exactly in the planet's equatorial plane. In the image, taken January 26, 2015, Tethys was brightened by a factor of 3 relative to Saturn to enhance the moon's visibility. This sidelong view of Saturn, taken January 18, 2017, captures a hint of the planet's sunlight side. The view was acquired at a distance of approximately 630,000 miles 1.01 million kilometers from Saturn. Cassini spent most of its 13 years in the Saturn system more than 1 million miles 1.6 million kilometers from the planet. On May 21, 2016, the Cassini probe captured this image while looking down on the planet. Saturn's shadow stretches more than halfway across the rings, and the hexagonal storm around the planet's north pole is visible. The probe took this image when it was approximately 2 million miles 3.2 million kilometers from Saturn. Follow Calico Field at Calico Field. Follow us at space.com, Facebook and Google.